Hi, my name is Eylene Pirez and I'm an astrophysicist, and this is the difference between astrology and astronomy. So the first difference is that astronomy is considered science. It's the study of all celestial bodies and everything that is contained in the universe and space. And astrology is not a science and is made out of the belief that everything that happens in space has a direct correlation to human events. So everything in space affects your human life and who you are. Now, what happens between astrology and astronomy that they branched out? So the problem is that astrology has a couple of problems that science does not agree on, and I will cover those. The first one is precession. So the Earth has a lot of movements. It orbits the sun, it also spins on its axis, but it also precesses, which means that the North Pole and the South Pole kind of wobble like a tabletop. So if you were looking at a star over here, and then let's say like 100,000 years later, your planet has moved over here, so now your North Pole is here and your South Pole is here. It means that the star now has a completely new position from where you are. Which means that all the star maps, when astrology was created, are no longer relevant nowadays. So the first problem is that they haven't taken into account precession, and they have not updated their maps. So maybe you were a Pisces then, and then now you no longer fall under Pisces, but they still call you a Pisces. So that's one of the main problems in astrology, is outdated maps, because they haven't taken into account the precession of the Earth. Now, the second problem is with misconceptions of the Zodiac. So let's look at the Earth over here, and let's look at something called the celestial sphere. And what the celestial sphere is a map around you with all the things, all the stars, all the constellations, everything we can see in the sky. And this is called the celestial equator, and it goes parallel. It's a projection of our own equator. And then we have something called the ecliptic, which is what seems to be the path of the sun. So the apparent path of the sun is called the ecliptic, and it's something like that. Okay, so what's a zodiac? So the zodiac is actually a band that follows the path of the sun. So this is what the zodiac is. And that ecliptic runs in the middle of the zodiac. Now, what's the problem with having the zodiac? So they took 360 degrees and they divided it into 12. So each month had a sign, and now you have these 30-degree bands, and whatever stars fell into the 30-degree bands, they assigned an astrological sign to. So let's say like the first 30-degree band is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and so forth. The problem is that they actually have missed a 13th constellation. The sky is nice to divide it by 12 because our year is divided by 12, but there's actually a missing constellation called Ophiuchus, and that's spelled like this. So one of the things that astronomy does not agree with astrology is that if you're born under the stars of Ophiuchus, you're being assigned a wrong astrological sign. And those are some of the problems that astrology and astronomy have against each other. My name is Eylene Pirez, and I'm an astrophysicist, and these are the differences between astronomy and astrology.